So this is our second attempt at doing this. Okay, so this is our second attempt at doing this. So I don't know if YouTube is gonna add this to the other one or not, or I'm gonna have to start all over again. So I'm just gonna start all over again. I am at the airport, guys. So if you're watching this for the first time and you don't know who I am, my name is E.DeanCole and I own DeanCole Financial. We are a consulting firm and we specialize in working capital, alternative finance, and business credit development. So I know I don't look like I am in CEO mode right now, but actually I kind of do look like CEO mode because look, I'm stuck at the airport. My flight got delayed. I'm in a t-shirt. I need to shave, so I know I don't look as professional as possible. Normally when I go live, I'm professional. So if you want to see me suited and booted in a business professional setting, look at one of my other videos. So if somebody shared this with you and because you had questions about credit repair, or you clicked on the video because you have questions about secrets that banks don't want you to know about, or even business consulting, that is who I am. So what I did was I went live earlier. The connection was horrible. I logged on to the Wi-Fi. So if you guys are, if this picks up in the middle of the other one, forgive the second introduction. But if not, then you know that's for the people who caught me live earlier. So that being said, if you're watching this on the replay and you was like, Dean, I didn't know you were live. How come I didn't know you were live? Two things. Thing number one, you've seen one of my videos before, but you did not subscribe. Or thing number two, you did subscribe, but you did not hit the notification bell. So as the title of the video says, I'm going to teach you guys about credit repair secrets that banks don't want you to know, basically by answering your questions, because I have been in banking and finance for over 19 years now. So as a business consultant, I'm able to tell you guys and teach you guys things that the traditional banker cannot, because of fear of NDAs as well as violations of the Equal Credit Opportunity Act. But because I'm not employed by the bank, but as a consulting firm, we're contracted by the bank, I am allowed to do so. That's the reason why we have an online course with a 98% approval rating, because I teach the underwriting secrets, the ins and outs and outs and ins that teach you how to get a funding and how to get approved. So if you're watching this, we have a total of 5 people watching live. That means that everybody else must be on the other one. So, oh my gosh, I hate that YouTube did that. Before everything went down, I think we had a total of 90 people watching. So this sucks tremendously. Oh, I hate that. But hey, it is what it is and it ain't what it ain't. So I want all of you guys to hit that like button right now. And I want you to share this. Let people know that I'm live, because YouTube is showing me 2 lives right now. The old one and this one. So let's go ahead and see who is in the building. So I apologize for the mix-hap. So So we got Melly Mel is back in the building. Hey, Melly Mel. 65 is in the building. Hey, 65, how are you doing? Chris Love is in the building. Hey, Chris Love, how are you doing? Fortune 500 is in the building. Hey, Fortune 500. Uncut Films is in the building. Hey, Uncut Films. Please start over. Yes, Angelo, I am going to start over again. But it says that only 2 people are watching me live, so I don't know how accurate this could be. So if you guys can hear me okay, I want you to say, hear you. I want everybody, if you can hear me okay, I want you to say, hear you. I might just have to do this all over again. Maybe I might have to wait 10 minutes or so. Let me do that. I'm gonna cancel this out and I'm gonna wait 10 minutes because YouTube is really messing some things up. Because I can't see my analytics. I can't see the people that are watching live. Okay, you can hear me, you can hear me. You guys can hear me, okay. Good stuff, you can hear me. All right, I see there's a ton of people that are watching live, but on my side, I don't see it. Okay, so I don't know, okay. Okay, you guys can hear me. All right, so, all right, I'm gonna stay on this live. I'm not gonna exit it. So YouTube is messing up, but it's okay. So if this is your first impression of me by catching me on YouTube, please catch another video. I know you only get one chance to make a first impression. So if you're watching this for the first time, please forgive my unprofessionalism and my incompetence as everything. So you see, okay, so Alex, you see 84 people watching live. All I see is 2 people watching live because YouTube only says 2 people. All right, now it says 87 people watching. Okay, Joel, well, nevertheless, okay, so let's just get into it then. So thank you guys so much for your patience. Thank you guys so much for your patience. Thank you guys so much for participating. So I want all of you guys, so Alex, since you can see the live comments and you're one of my admins, I need you to keep on track. Let me know so we can make sure the likes match the comments. So we have 87 people watching live. Let's get 87 thumbs up at the same time. Let YouTube know you value this, and also hit the share button so more people can know as well. Thank you so much for that. Thank you so much for that. Thank you very much. BNY is in the building. Thanks so much for that. Helen says 88. Thanks so much for that, Helen. So we are good to go. So basically, I want you guys to ask your questions now. I'm at the airport. My flight has been delayed for about another hour and 30 minutes. I was at Ludacris restaurant eating chicken and beer. I actually had a French connection for all my fancy aficionados in the building. I had a French connection, and I had his chicken and waffles, and it was so good. And I was just sitting back looking at what Ludacris has done, and I'm proud of him just as a successful entrepreneur, even as a successful black man, because there's a video of him actually getting custody of his daughter recently, and I was watching that, and it was so cool to see how far he has come, because he started off as a radio personality, and he just kept grinding and he kept growing. So that inspired me to just go live right now, because I want to maximize my time. So if you guys ever heard of Ludacris Chicken and Beer Restaurant, if you've heard of it, I want you to say have heard. If you've eaten there, I want you to say ate there. If you never have, I want you to say never have. So if you're watching me for the first time, I am a live lecturer. I teach live, so this is interactive. So if you clicked on the thumbnail because of the fancy wording, or you clicked on the thumbnail because of my handsome face, you might have clicked on it to be entertained, but you will leave empowered. But I need you guys to participate with me. So let's go ahead and see. And I feed off of your energy, especially like right now, because I'm out of my element. I feel like I look rough. So I don't have my normal swag that I have. So I'm pulling from within and I'm going to feed off of your energy. And I really appreciate you guys so much for that. So you love my channel. I appreciate you so much for that, Marky. That's Marky K. I appreciate you for that, Marky K. I'm driving now and listening. Thanks so much for Alex Express. You have the same question as Melly Mel. Okay, what was that question that Melly Mel asked? So that's going to be the first one that I answer. Okay, my G 100% big, the realest in the building. All right, so Joel said you've heard of it. All right, homeschooling and oils says never have. All right, Charlotte says never have. Miguel the Bronx says never have. All right, Alex says have heard of it. All right, Fortune 500, which is a dope name. Every time I see that, I think that's such a dope name, Fortune 500. I want you to put a profile picture up, Fortune 500, so people can see and know who you are. Fortune 500 says never have. Angelo says never have. Jackie Reyes says have heard. Anthony Simmons says have heard. All right, Melly Mel says never have. Money Mike Slick Will says never have. So a lot of you guys have never heard of it, yes. So so it looks like most of you guys have never heard of his restaurant. So yeah, Ludacris got a contract with Hartsfield-Jackson International Airport to start to launch his restaurant, and this is the only one he has. Now Ludacris is a multimillionaire, but yet he is so wise in his approach. He hacked success. If you are stuck at the airport, you have a myriad of different restaurants you can go to, but most of the time you want to be close to your terminal. So what he has done is he has marketed it throughout the airport. You'll see different life-size life-size cutouts of him talking about his restaurant. So psychologically, you were thinking if you're on the terminal that he's on, he has actually positioned himself. And then he positioned himself to be in a crowded place. So people like myself who are stuck in situations, they can go and they can participate. So that's a way to kind of guarantee that you're going to get some success. And the food is very, very good. And I was so surprised that this is his only restaurant. And I was talking to the general manager as I was sitting there, and they're saying that this is like his restaurant, and he's had it for 2 years, but he's still in the process of developing and building on the concept. And it's such a smart idea. So a lot of people, he reverse engineered success. So you can't help but have a successful restaurant in the airport. So this, like I said, is what made me say, okay, well, let me go ahead and let me teach my people instead of wasting this time. So let's see, who was the person that asked the first question, okay? Now, let's do a temperature check as well. So if this is your first time watching me, if you've never seen me before, if you've subscribed or somebody shared this with you, I want you to say first time. If you've seen me before and you know who I am because you are a client of mine, you're enrolled into my course, I want you to say client. If you are a subscriber and you have not enrolled into my course and you're subscribed to my channel, I want you to say subscriber. If you are watching this and you are not a subscriber, but you do know who I am and you've seen me before, I want you to say family, okay? All right, so the first person was Charla, says she's a client. Thanks so much for that, Charla. Andre Morris is a client. All right, Lachelle Lewis is a client. All right, Joel Davis is a subscriber. Lewis Thomas is a client. Homeschooling and Oils is a subscriber. All right, Alex Express is a subscriber. All right, LaPon Maid is a client. Nelson Hollis is a client. All right, Trebo 4 is a subscriber. Okay, so it looks like we're mostly family today. No first timers. Okay, that's cool. So no first timers, so you guys know how I do it, so I can just go ahead and get into my teacher mode. So if you're watching this on the replay and you want to know who I'm talking to, if you click on the comments below on YouTube, you can see the live comments and you can see who it is that I'm talking to. All right. All right, so T-shirt help desk says you're about to be a client. T-shirt help desk, we need to do our collaboration, my man. We talked about it before, so we definitely need to chat. So make sure, did you message me, T-shirt help desk on IG? Did you message me on my Instagram? It is the one that has 80,000. That's the one that I'm on all the time. Make sure you message me. Go to Instagram and type in E.DeanCole. You'll see I have a blue suit on. Message me there so that we can talk about doing this collaboration. All right, client, family, and subscriber. That's what I'm talking about, Alandria. All right, you said I'm taking too long to get to the point. Barbara, right, the entire video is the point, Barbara. This is a live video and a live lecture. So the entire video is a point, Barbara, right? Do you have a question that you'd like to ask? All right, Brian King is a subscriber. Sonia Young is a subscriber. Client, you're trying to create your LLC. All right, so I just say Marty Powell. For some reason, I'm having a hard time reading your name. So Marty says that you're trying to create your LLC. When I look up my business name, it does not show up under LLC, but it shows up under INC. Can I still use that name under LLC? Very good question. So meaning that if you're searching for a business name and you're searching and somebody else already has your business name and they are an INC, then yes, you are able to use that and do it under a LLC. Depending on which Secretary of State depending on which Secretary of State that you are using, depending on what state you're in, they're gonna ask you for 2 backup names as well. So my advice would be to do initials if you can't do the full name. So I'm curious to know, what is their business name that you would like, that you have? So what business name is it that you're wanting? But majority of the time, as long as you put LLC at the end of it, then you should be good to go. You should be good to go according to the Secretary of State that you're in. Okay, so T-shirt help desk, you said you messaged me but got no reply. I was looking when I was in Turks. I was on the beach puffing on cigars, going through, and I didn't see your message. So I'll make sure I look again. So go back and ask again, because I get a lot of questions. Because I do these live Q&As, people reach out to me often, and I have a ton of messages. So send me another one so that you can go to the top of the list. So you can go to the top of this. Okay, Evol is in the building. Okay. All right, so a lot of you guys are asking these different questions. Okay, so Barbara, you said that you're just listening because you're an avid reader. Okay, so if you are an avid reader, Barbara, then definitely sit back and enjoy this live lecture of me teaching you, if you have questions about how you're able to build your business credit or build your personal credit, and also about secrets that credit that the banks don't want you to know about. So if you're saying getting to the point, the entire video is the point. The point, Barbara, is that you have access to me, an African-American CEO that specializes in credit and repair. And instead of you using the time to empower yourself, you use the time to waste the time to, now I know your name and now I don't like you so much. So now, Barbara, you have to restore that like by participating in this. So that's the point, Barbara, okay? So that's the point. So I forgive you already, but I do want you to participate with me, okay? Don't criticize me. I want you to participate with me. Don't become a critic. I want you to be a creator. Create what it is that you want to do, because people, for this type of time, people pay me $250. an hour to speak with me. So I'm giving back. So invest that $250 into yourself by creating something instead of criticizing. As you can see, people, if you look at the comments, all of these are clients. All these people are saying they want to schedule time with me. So use the time wisely, Barbara. Don't be foolish in your approach to creating something. All right. So speaking of that, somebody said that they just wanted to schedule time with me. Like I said, I was in Turks and Caicos, then I came here to Atlanta to handle some business. So I'm getting back on my consultations. So make sure you contact the office to get on the calendar with me. So if you want to schedule that consultation with me, Charlotte, make sure that you contact my office, and I'm catching up on all my consultations. It's based on my calendar, first come, first serve. So you contact the office, and when you call the office, hit option number 3. Well, you can't call the office right now because it's Sunday, but on Monday, call the office, hit option number 3, and ask to speak to Patricia, and she will schedule the time to do the one-on-one consultation if you chose to do so, okay? All right, okay, all right. So, Dayan, you want to know the link to the private Facebook group? If you're inside your course, click on the button that says help. That will take you to the private Facebook group. So the private Facebook group is only for clients that are enrolled into the course. To confirm that you are enrolled into the course, log into the course, all right? And under whichever lesson, under every single lesson, there's a help button, and that button will take you over to the private Facebook group. Make sure you ask those questions, and answer those questions that they're asking, and a member of my team will approve you to join the group, okay? All right, okay, so, Diol says that you're going to become a client in the next 30 days. That's awesome. I look forward to doing business with you. Okay. This is the point. That's right, Melly Mel. This is the point. Absolutely. So Miguel says, can I obtain an EIN without having a business address? That's a very good question, Miguel. Yes, you can. So legally, you can go to the Secretary of State. You go to irs.gov, and you can get an EIN, but do not do that, okay? The reason why is because you can get an EIN, they'll give it to you, but you're not going to get any funding. So if you're wanting to get an EIN just so you can have your EIN, now when you do get your EIN, they're going to ask for your address. You're going to put down your residential address, okay? So put down your residential address when you are applying for your EIN, or I teach my clients to put down their business address if they, when you're going through my course, I teach you to put down your business address, because the purpose of my course isn't to teach you how to start a business. The purpose of my course is to teach you how to start a business and get funding. That's why you see my clients saying they got approved for $100,000, $75,000, $50,000 in 30 and 60 days. Is because I teach the underwriting guidelines that banks don't want you to know about, so that you can get funding. Because everybody and their mama can wake up and start a business. Everybody and their mama can get an EIN number and then be a sole proprietor, and they say, oh, I'm a business owner. But can you get funding though? Can you get money? So that's the purpose of my course. The reason why I reiterate that is because I do a lot of things with a lot of women empowerment seminars and as a speaker, and I go to a lot of different events, and there are a myriad of women. And this isn't just specific to a particular gender. This is based on my experience over the last 90 days. There are a lot of women that are teaching how to start a business and how to be a mamapreneur, but they don't teach you how to start and grow and become a successful entrepreneur to get funding. So that's the purpose for this, is to get funding, not so that you can start a business and be broke. Not so that you can start a business to say that you're a business owner, but you're working 9 to 5 for somebody else, but you have a LLC and not doing anything with it. The entire purpose of what I do is to teach you how to get a business, how to grow a business, how to start a business and do it full time and live the CEO lifestyle for real, not just in name only, okay? That's the purpose of what it is that I do. All right, that's a very good question. All right, the entire video is a point. Thank you very much for that, Andre. Thank you so much, family, for participating for that. All right. Be quiet, Barbara. You are crazy, really. Y'all don't have to attack her. Okay, Big Bear is in the building. Hey, Big Bear, how you doing? All right, so Andre says that I have a question. I've been working a 1099 job for the past 3 years without an LLC. Can I put in an LLC even though it's been a while? That's a very good question, Andre. Yes, so to be very candid with you, you're able to work your 1099 job, create an LLC, get a business checking account, get a go through my course, do everything, set yourself up the right way. You can actually be, like your name is Andre Morris. You can be Andre Morris and Company. So that way, it'll cut down on the confusion. When whomever you're working for pays you, they are going to either do direct deposit into your business account, and or they'll do a paper check, and the paper check will say pay to the order of Andre Morris and Group or Andre Morris Company. So yes, create that LLC, so that way the day that you create your LLC is the day that in the eyes of the banks that you are a business. So even though you've been working with them for 3 years, that's good, okay? That's great when it comes to stability, but when it comes to getting funding, you will be considered a business that day you start your LLC. But that's okay though, because in my course I teach you how you're able to get funding 30, 60, and 90 days. So the best time to plant a tree is 30 years ago. The second best time to plant a tree is right now. So you can't do anything about those 3 years ago, but you can start right now. So don't let another day go by and not do that. So the best time to plant a tree, like I said, is 30 years ago. The second best time to plant a tree is right now. So plant that tree right now, create that LLC right now, so that you can start to get business funding. So when you're driving around, you can drive around in your company car. So when you are buying these clothes and buying these suits or whatever it is you choose to buy, or whatever your business is, they're all business expenses, and you can do it in your business name, use business credit. So when you're taking trips, you can use your business credit card and write it all off. And the cool thing about business credit versus personal credit is that if you get $5,000 in personal credit, 9 times out of 10 you're going to get $50,000 in business credit. That's the cool thing about business credit when you set yourself up the proper way. All right, very good question. Okay, Uncut Film says, how important is the amount you order for your net 30s? You really can't find much to order over $100. That's a very good question, Uncut Films. So the number that triggers Dun & Bradstreet in Experian Business is $55. So my advice to you is to buy something. You just buy something because it costs to be the boss. Buy something and sell it on eBay. In my course, I actually have a section that talks about how you can buy something that you really don't need, but you do need the credit, so that you can trigger that 80 paydex to get funding, and then you can turn around and sell it on eBay. You can buy desks, you can buy chairs, you can buy office equipment, all in your business name, no personal guarantee, and turn around and sell it. So that within itself is called arbitrage. That's a business within itself, if you chose to do that. But so yes, so the key number is anything over $55. And the purpose of you doing it isn't because they have great products, it's because they report. And remember, this is chess, not checkers. So you have to make your next move your best move. So that means that you might have to invest that extra $55. Or another cool thing you can do is call your aunt, your mother, your sister, your brother, your cousin, ask them if they need anything, and just sow it into their lives. The purpose of it is so that they can report, not so that you can get everything that you want for tier 1. For tier 2 and tier 3, that's when we're talking about things that you might want and use all the time. That's a very good question. Okay. Okay, so somebody says, don't put your business name here, someone will take it. People ain't like that. People ain't like that. People not like that. Unless you have a patent idea, don't do that. You're thinking too much. You're doing too much, Patrick. You're being, you're letting your anxiety get the best of you, and you're letting your pessimism get the best of you. People aren't trolling, especially my clientele. People who follow my channel, they're all entrepreneurs. They want to build their own business. They don't want to build somebody else's business. You understand what I'm saying? So for my clientele, the way that I word my videos, the way that I do my description, my tag, and my text, and my metadata is I attract entrepreneurs that want to start and grow their own business. So yeah, we do get some trolls and we get some weirdos, but I doubt that somebody's going to invest $150 or $200 to steal somebody else's name. Because remember, it costs money in order to incorporate. So it's not 9 times out of 10, somebody's not going to steal your business name just to be spiteful, unless it's somebody that you know personally. But all right, Whisper LLC. Okay, so if you want to be a Whisper LLC, I would suggest that you could say Whisper Holdings LLC or Whisper Group LLC. Or Whisper International or Whisper INTL, something along those lines. Add one of those different adjectives to your business name if you're having issues with that. But Whisper LLC is good. That's a good universal name. Very, very, very ambiguous enough to get funding. So I like that. So that's a very good name. When you schedule a consultation, do you have clients come to you? That's a very good question. Lashika, if you are in the city that I'm in and you want to schedule a one-on-one sit-down consultation, you are able to do so. For over-the-phone consultations, if you're not a client, I charge $250 an hour. If you want an in-person consultation, I charge $350 an hour. If you are enrolled into my course and you're a client, then it's only $150 an hour. Over the phone. In person, it's $250. So if you are, like right now, I am in Atlanta, but I'm headed back to New Orleans. So if you're in New Orleans or if you're in the city that I'm in and you want to do an in-person consultation, you're able to do so as well. That's a very good question. Okay. So Coach 5 says, I need to leverage off another black man's business and credit. Can you assist? So when you say that, Coach 5, are you trolling? So when you say that you need to leverage off another, help me to understand what you mean by that. You have to really explain that, because that doesn't make sense to me. Help me understand what you mean by that. Okay, so Flucy1 says, how do you get hard inquiries off your credit without waiting 2 years? That's a very good question, Flucy1. So my advice to you is don't worry about hard inquiries. People who don't understand the credit algorithm, they'll see that they'll get denied and they'll say that they're denied because of inquiries and length of credit or inquiries and types of credit. Inquiries are the least thing that affect your credit. The type of energy and effort it takes for you to remove a hard inquiry, I would suggest that you take that energy and effort to remove a collection if you have a collection, or if you or to add additional trade lines. So I think that you're using the right energy, but you're using the right energy in the wrong place. So okay, that's Atlantic City. Hold on, guys. I'm listening for my flight. Like I said, this is live. So I'm listening for my flight because I can't see the time right now. They say we're leaving at 4 o'clock. Okay. It's my flight number. Flight M367. Okay. So that being said, I think you're using the right energy, but you're using the right energy in the wrong place. So my advice to you is what all is on your credit, because the reason why I say that is because getting inquiries removed off your credit is a huge red flag. So yeah, if you want to have a pretty score, it'll help you have a pretty score, but it'll cause issues with you getting approved, because what you're saying is that you did not physically apply for this line of credit, or you did not physically apply. So that means that you're saying that someone stole your credit, which is a very high risk alert. So you're going to be flagged. So you might have a pretty score, but you won't be able to get approved for anything. You're going to have to go through manual underwriting any and every time because you have a fraud alert on your file. So there's a difference between a red flag and then a fraud alert. So when you're saying that you did not apply for X, Y, and Z, or you did not apply for A, B, and C, that means that your identity has been stolen and you're going to put a fraud alert. Now, if you don't go through the full process of freezing your credit and you don't go through the full process of wiping everything off, it causes more trouble than it's worth. So that's the reason why I don't teach to get inquiries removed, because that's the least form of being able to repair your credit and to restore your credit. The only time I would suggest that you do something like that is if you're, let's say if you had a 619 and you need a 620 to qualify for a mortgage, and you need that 1 or 2 extra points, then there's a system that you can go and use, and you can opt out. It's called optoutprescreen.com, and that'll opt you out for 5 years of getting those inquiries, and that'll boost your score like maybe 3 points, because that's all it really does is boost your score like 2 or 3 points. All right, so let's see. It's a very good question. All right. Okay, good stuff. Okay, let's see. Okay, somebody says they would love to do that. Thank you, boom, boom, boom. Can I help you get your credit score to a 720 plus? If you enroll into your course, absolutely. It depends on where you are right now. If you put in the work, you can. That's like somebody saying, can you help me get a six-pack? Yeah, if you do the crunches and you do the fasting and you do the work, absolutely. But if you just go to the gym and you don't do the work, then no, you can't. But absolutely, we have people in our course that have 700 plus. Like if you look at the video that I posted not too long ago, Scott Davies, he has over a 700 with a bankruptcy. So, but at the same time, Scott invested. He didn't just get the course and not do the work. So that's how it works. That's how it goes. All right, I missed my place. You guys are asking some really good questions. Shoot. I missed my question. How important is it? Is the amount? Okay, I got that. Let me go back down. Okay. Let me go back down. All right, that was it. Okay. Okay, we have 35 likes and 103 people watching. Let's those likes hit the same thing. Thanks so much for that, Alex, because I can't see because YouTube is tripping. So I need all 115 of you guys hit the like button right now. I want you to participate with me as well. Thank you so much for your, who's that? Thank you so much for your dedication and time. You're very welcome for that, homeschooling and oils. I appreciate you so much for that. Okay, so Big the Realist says, oh man, Lord have mercy, that man doesn't have to do half of what he chooses to do. Thank you very much for that. I do appreciate that. Yes, this is my way of giving back and sowing seeds into you guys, because sometimes, like I said, you can't, one, my time is limited, so you can't always get me on the phone, and two, somebody might not have $250 an hour to do a consultation. So this is your way of catching me to do so. All right, awesome, love it. Thank you so much for that, 65 smiles. You need some time with me? Absolutely, She. If you need some time with me, you can go ahead and schedule it. All right, so Ken says, your last payment for the course is next week. Can I go straight to the executive coaching? Absolutely, Ken. We can talk about that when you are ready to move forward to the executive coaching. All right, so Jaquel says, you go, Dean. You do you. Most of us, thank you for the time. I really appreciate you so much for that, Jaquel. All right, so okay, so I just say Williams. Lashrell, I think that's how you pronounce that. Lashrell Williams says, I've been looking at all of your videos. I don't care how long it takes you, because I'm always learning with you. When you speak, it's always informative, being genuine. Thank you so much. Information being given. Thank you so much for that. My eyes playing tricks on me. I really appreciate you so much for that. Okay. Hey, Dean, is it a good idea to expose your signature when disputing? That's a very good question. Yes, you have to make sure when you're doing your disputes, you have to make sure that you sign you have to make sure that you sign your letters, and you need to sign it in blue ink. Now, a lot of people who will say, oh, well, you don't want to put your signature down because they could steal it. No, they're not going to commit fraud for your little $350 or $750 or $1,000. No, because what happens is that in order for them to validate the debt, they need to show the original signed document with blue ink. So if they're going to steal or copy your signature, they're not going to be able to do so with blue ink. So yes, you have to make sure you sign it, because you signing it with blue ink is what validates you and is what shows up on your credit report, and also what shows up on your signature card, because every single lending institution has a signature card for you. So if we're talking about a stand-up company, if they wanted to forge your signature, they can just go and look at your signature card. When you signed up for your banking institution, they have your signature card. That's the reason why it's important for you to sign your name, so that they will know that it's you, so people can't forge your signature. So yes, it's very important for you to follow every single step when you're disputing. That's the reason why a lot of times things don't get removed and people get frustrated because they say it doesn't work. It's because they're doing half information. It's just kind of like this. If you're trying to bake a cake and the recipe says to preheat the oven for 350 degrees for 15 minutes, then put it in the oven, if you forget that 15-minute preheating, you're gonna mess up your cake. That one small thing destroys it. That's the reason why I use the analogy of cooking, because it is that detailed In order to get that result, you have to make sure you follow the recipe. Like I said, the #1 best-selling book of all time says that there's a way that seems right to a man, but the end thereof is destruction. The exact same thing when it comes to building your business and getting funding or repairing your credit or restoring your credit. There's a way that seems right to you, but there's no such thing as common sense underwriting. There's a such thing as a manual underwriting and automatic underwriting. Those are the only two things that make sense in the world of banking and finance. And so these are things that your banker cannot tell you, because if you do, they're going to violate the Equal Credit Opportunity Act because they're employed by the bank. So they have to make sure that everybody's kept in the dark so everyone has an equal opportunity to build credit. But that's inaccurate though, because we know socially the other demographics and other ethnos and other genders, for the fellas, they have a different chance based on what they're exposed to. So that's the reason why I teach the way that I teach, so that you can really have an equal credit opportunity by knowing the guidelines and the tricks of the trade. Okay, so okay, let's see. All right, so I missed out on a lot of questions, guys, so let's go ahead and start all over again. So if you guys are with me, I know I lost you guys, so if you're with me, I want you to say with you. I want everybody to say with you, all right? So I want you to say with you. Hey, DL, how are you doing? I haven't seen you in a minute, DL. So if you're with me and you're ready to go, I want you to say with you. And every question I see after with you are the ones that I'm gonna ask. So if you asked a question previously, you're gonna have to re-ask that question again, because I got lost with the back and forth, and YouTube is kind of messing up right now because I can't even see. It says I have 0 people watching live, but I'm getting all these comments, so I know that's not accurate. Okay, thank you so much for participating. Thank you for saying with you. Thank you so much for that. So Shelton says, you with me. Thank you so much for that. So every question after these big with yous are the ones that I'm going to answer. So if you asked a question before and I missed it, ask it again. All right, and I'm gonna start right now. Thank you so much for participating. Let's see, Shelton, thank you for participating. Fortune 500, thank you for participating. DL, thank you for participating. LaCharle Williams, I'll just say L.A. Williams, thank you for participating. Rhonda Cox, thank you so much for participating. Sheen, thank you for participating. Ray, thank you for participating. Eric, thank you. Travis, thank you so much for that. Brownie, thank you for participating. Charlotte Hammond, thank you for participating. Sonia Young, thank you for participating. The Real Boy Dog, appreciate you. Thank you so much for participating. Thank you guys so much. Okay. All right, so the next question is, all right, so Rhonda asked, do we report to the credit bureaus? We are in the process of reporting. When our offices were in Atlanta and we moved to New Orleans, we had to go back through the underwriting process. So right now we are not reporting, but we are in the process of reporting. So if you are with me and you've made your payments, you guys know we keep accurate records. Once we do get to that point, we will be able to go and report. So it's a very strenuous underwriting process to be able to report to the credit bureaus as a company. So that's where we are with it, to be 100% candid with you. We have to go back through and start over again with it because of the move, because they have to actually physically come out and inspect your office. And they came and did the location in Atlanta. They inspected everything, but now that the office has moved to New Orleans, then we have to go through a different inspection. All right, thank you. That's a very good question. Is GG LLC a good name? GG LLC is a great name. LaPonda Wade, that's a great business name. I like that name a lot. All right, 131 people watching live. I need 131 of you guys to hit the thumbs up button right now. My question is for the course. It says, my question for the course, set up and scheduling. All right, so the Real Boy, that doesn't make sense to me. So what is your question? Because you just told me what your question is about. But the best thing is to ask your question. So what is your question, the Real Boy? All right, Crystal is in the building. Hey, Crystal, how are you doing? All right, Dean, I have purchased from 3 vendors over $55 twice and 2 once with Uline, but after 4 months, only 1 is showing up on my business credit. Why? That's a very good question, Creighton. The first thing is we need to know, you need to have a total of what's called 5 payment experiences. A payment experience is not how many times you pay a company. It is the actual first payment that you do with a company that reports. So if you, and you have to do it all at the same time, and you have to, and it depends on what time of the month in which you did it. So right now, the 15th, so the 15th is coming up. The best thing for you to do is to make 5 different orders from 5 different companies, the 5 different companies that do report, okay? Because just like I just expressed, as a business, not all companies report to the credit bureaus for Equifax, TransUnion, and Experian. It's even smaller amount of people that report to Dun & Bradstreet and Experian Business. So that being said, you have to make sure you order from the companies that do report, and then you also have to make sure that when you do order, you have to order from 5 different companies. There's some things going around right now. People are saying, "Oh, you can get a Paydex with only 3." No, you can't. No. You need to have 5 different payment experiences, and they need to be above $55. The best time for you to order is the 15th and afterwards. So that way, so we're in the month of September. So you order on the 15th, the week of the 15th. Do not make your payment until October comes, because that's going to trigger a credit transaction. A lot of times what people will do, they're so excited, they'll order something, let's say the September 15th, and their product comes like September 23rd, they'll make their payment as soon as it comes. That's not how business works. You're not going to trigger a credit transaction. You're going to show up as a cash transaction. For the business credit reporting agencies, you have to be above $55. The best thing for you to do is to go over a calendar month, but be within your 30-day window to make your payment to trigger credit reporting. Okay, so that's very important, and you have to do it from all 5. And you can't drag your feet. You can't say, "Well, I'm gonna do 2 one day and then do another one this day." No, you got to get off your butt. You have to put on your big girl drawers, your big boy drawers. Order 5, make 5 different orders. I don't care if you need it or not. Get $55 worth of paper. Get $55 worth of pencils. Get $55 worth of tape. It doesn't matter. Just get it. Make sure that it reports so that you can go to tier 2 and tier 3 of funding, so you can get that $150,000, $200,000 in business credit that's separate from your personal credit. It's a very good question. All right. Okay, so you said that you're at an 80 Paydex, but you're stuck on tier 1. Okay, so when you say you're stuck on tier 1, help me understand what you mean by that. Have you gone and applied for your tier 2 funding? So when you say you're stuck, help me understand what you mean by when you say you're stuck. All right, so LaShandra says, will the program help me if I'm a reseller of designer clothes? Absolutely, because you're still in business. So if you're a reseller of designer clothes, you still can get up to $150,000. So let me ask you this question. Could you use $150,000 to buy designer clothes and then sell them? All right, is that something that you can do? So the answer is yes, absolutely, definitely can. All right. All right, so Melly Mel says that you need to sign up and you want to set everything up in order. Please help you. Okay, so if you want to, sign up for the course and follow the steps. So if you're ready to sign up, Melly Mel, go to DCFIOnline.com/enroll and sign up, and don't do nothing other than follow the course. Follow the steps. Follow the recipe. If you follow the recipe, you're going to get the results. So the only person stopping you from being successful is you. So you can enroll right now and get started tonight. If you're ready to go, enroll right now. Go to DCFIOnline.com/enroll and get started right now. All right, thank you so much for that. So Ray says, just checking in. What's the first step to getting business credit? I plan on starting a small tow truck business, 475 Towing Services LLC. Ray, that's a convoluted question. The first step for you to start building business credit is to be a legitimate business. You cannot be you can't be a sole proprietor. You must have your EIN. You must have your LLC. You must have your business address. You must have a business professional email address, and you also must have a business phone number. Those are the 5 steps, but that's the first step, to be a legitimate business. Once you are a legitimate business, then you can go to the second step of starting to build business credit. Okay. So Ray Davis is in the building. What's going on, Ray? You said you're listening. You're unable to comment, or the view comments working. Thank you so much for that, Ray. I appreciate your support, my man. O'Shea, What's going on, O'Shea? O'Shea just messaged me. Okay. O'Shea Jackson wants me to go live on his channel right now. I don't know, how can I do this? I want to go live, but I don't even think I have enough time because the flight is about to take off. Let me see. I got like 45 minutes. Okay, so O'Shea wants me to go live on his channel to do a panel. Let's see. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna stay with you guys. So I know O'Shea wants me to do live, but I'm not really in the position to go live on his panel right now. Okay, so let's see. Oh, okay, let's go back to the questions. Okay, so Patrick says, who is a reasonable price? Who's a reasonable price for a virtual office? Regis is charging $300. That doesn't sound right now, Patrick. Regis is charging $300. The most I've ever seen Regis charge is $150. So if you, depending on what city and state that you're in, Patrick, I would suggest that you go to DaVinci. DaVinci is a very good resource that has a virtual office for like $50. $55. So I'm not 100% sure, Patrick. It depends on what city and state that you're in, but that sounds like a private office that they're trying to sell you, not a virtual office. That doesn't sound like their minimum program, Patrick. All right, so Big the Realist says, is it possible you can start 2 businesses after 3 months after the course? Absolutely, Big the Realist. You can start multiple businesses right now. If you have the resources and you have the financial resources to pay the fees for the state, and you also have the time to build them both up, then yes, you are able to build them up. But my advice is to build up the main one that's going to make you the most money. Whatever's going to make you the most money that you can do full time, start on that one. And then once that one is successful, not stable, but successful. The mistake that I think a lot of us make as African Americans, we believe that having multiple jobs is success. That's not success. When your business can fund your lifestyle and your business can fund and pay for itself is when you go and start another successful business. What happens is that a light, you see this light, so you, for instance, the sun, okay? The sun illuminates everything because the light is scattered. But when it is focused and it is intense and it becomes laser focused, it can cut through anything. So I think in the African American community, we think that hustling is a good thing. Hustling is not a good thing. You want to become a professional and you want to focus on what it is that you want to be laser focused on and achieve that goal and become successful at that. Then once you're successful at that, you leverage your success and then you cut the time in half to get to success in that next venture. I think that is the biggest misconception that African Americans have. They think that, you know, because if you do 4 or 5 different things, half good is not good. You want to do one thing very good, then do 2 things extremely well, then do 3 things extremely well, then do 4 things extremely well. You don't want to half-ass it, for lack of better words. If that makes sense, I want you to say make sense, okay? If that makes sense, it says make sense. And if that offended you, good, I hope you got offended, because if you get offended, then you can change, okay? So if it makes sense, I want you to say make sense. If it doesn't make sense and you disagree, I want you to say disagree. Even if you're watching this on the replay, I want you to comment as well as if you're watching me live as well. Okay, Joel says make sense, thanks so much for that. All right, Traval, Elise says makes sense, thanks so much for that. Makes a lot of sense, thank you so much for that, Maurice Anderson. All right, 504 boy says makes sense, thanks so much for that. She says it makes sense, thank you so much for that. Top Elite Auto Sales says makes sense, thank you so much for that. All right, I need all 136 of you guys hit the thumbs up button right now. All right, I got lost in these questions again. You guys are asking some really good questions tonight. Okay, so Lewis says that my Experian is at $669. I I have one derogatory item from a medical bill. How can I remove this item so that I can move closer to the 700 mark? This is a very good question, Lewis. So if your score is a 669, hold on. Okay, so Lewis, if your score is a 669, that means that you have decent payment history for the past 12 months. It also means that you have some credit cards. 9 times out of 10, you have credit cards with a lower limit, like maybe $500 or $600. So the reason why your score is stuck at 669 is because you're not really utilizing your credit, because the numbers mean things. So numbers mean things. So at a 669, that means that you have a lot of established older accounts, but you have very low limits and you're not really utilizing them to the best of my ability. So let me know if I'm right or not. So Lewis, if I'm right, let me know. So what is the highest credit card or the highest line of credit, Lewis, you have on your account? So let me know. If I'm right, let me know if I'm right or not. And you can see Lewis's comment below. So Lewis, I want you to participate with me quickly, man. True. Okay, Lewis says true. Okay. So Lewis, what is the highest line of credit you have on your report? Comment with me quickly, my man, because it's going to get lost with the comments. So if you're watching on the replay and you want to see who it is I'm talking to, you can look at his comments below. Okay. You just received $2,000. Okay, good stuff. So that means that, like I said, that 669 that you have means that you have some good payment history, but you have a lot of smaller accounts, and you just got 2,000, which is the highest one you've had so far. So my advice to you, Lewis, would be, my advice to you, my man, would be to get in my course. In my course, I have a section where you're guaranteed $15,000 of guaranteed lines of credit from multiple different companies. And these are companies that will show up as an actual line of credit, not as a secured credit card. Secured credit cards are horrible for building up your credit. These are actual legitimate companies that will show up as a open revolving line of credit. So that what that's going to do is that's going to boost your scores up to the low 7s. Now, about your medical bill, you can go ahead and attack your medical bill as well, but that's a public record. Your public record can get removed as well, and that can boost your score a little bit, but to really boost your score to where it really needs to be, I think if you remove that medical bill and then you were to go and get the guaranteed lines of credit, then your scores will probably be at 715 to 720 in about 45 days. So what you need to do is you need to go and validate that debt. I have a video that talks about specifically on how you're able to validate the debt so that you can remove all those items off of your credit report, meaning that medical bill. So that medical bill is a public record. So the first thing I need to know, Lewis, is that medical bill, is it showing up being reported by the hospital, or is it with a third-party credit reporting agency? Because the likelihood of you removing that is higher the older the debt is, and if it's with a second or third party collection reporting agency. If it is with your current, if it's with the current medical, if it's with the current hospital, and it's the first party, and a lot of, they have billing departments. Okay, so it's in collections. Okay, so if it's in collections, then what I need you to do, if it's in collections, is to, then what I need you to do is go through the process of validating the debt. Now, when you validate the debt, that means that you are telling them. So first you have to go and dispute it. So dispute it online to Equifax, TransUnion, and Experian. Dispute it with all three. Then after you do your online dispute, then what you need to do is you need to contact the collection agency and have them to validate the debt. And validating the debt, what a lot of times collection agencies will do, they'll try to punk you out by sending you an itemization. An itemization is not validating. So you need to go through the process of validating that debt, get them to validate it. If they do not validate it, then that's how you're able to get it removed. Guys, my phone is about to die, so I'm gonna answer 3 more questions, okay? The next 3 questions I see starting right now. Now, if you're watching me and you're like, Dean, I didn't get a chance, you didn't get to my question, make sure that you subscribe, and the next time I'm live, make sure you participate so that I can can go. So the first question that I see is Marcel Lewis. He says, my question is, I have some hospital bills and a little back child support. How do you go about removing them when I know I have to pay something? Okay, so the child support, if it's showing up on your credit report as a public record, you're going to have to take care of that. All right, if it's showing up as a public record, you can go through the process of having them to validate it as well, so you can get it removed. If you go through the process of validation, in my course, I show you how to do a total credit freeze before you validate. So the biggest thing for you is you're going to have to do a validation for both the medical bills and the child support. You have to make sure you go through the steps that I teach, and it's a very lengthy process, but I break it down step by step and I hold your hand in the course. So you're going to have to do that total freeze and then validate. And even when you do that, you have a 50-50 chance because you owe it. You dig what I'm saying? It is what it is. So that's going to be your best bet. All right, so the next question is, so Tony says, who would I recommend getting a personal loan to bring down utilization? So Tony, if you're enrolled into my course, I have 4 different resources that gives you $15,000. I don't suggest that you get a personal loan. They're guaranteed lines of credit. I really need to finish it. It's actually something that I want to give out for free. If you look at my other videos, I talk about giving out something for free. The reason why I stopped is because it's with some people trying to steal my intellectual property. So I put a stop to that. But I strongly suggest that when you're enrolled into the course, there are 4 different companies that give you a total of $15,000 total. That is going to give you guaranteed lines of credit. If you listen to Scott Davies' testimonial, he talks about how he was able to do that. And if you listen to that video testimonial, he breaks that down, and he got all 4 of those companies. And that's what boosted up his scores. All right, guys, so one last question, and I gotta go because my phone is about to die. Okay, so the real boy dog says, the DHS directly and tell them, okay. Okay, all right, that's you giving somebody some advice. Okay, all right. So the next question I see is D. D. McCullen says, can a business piggyback off of another business credit, like an authorized user and personal credit? Yes, it can, but it doesn't show up. You're able to, the same way you can purchase trade lines for your personal credit, you can purchase trade lines for your business credit as well. However, these are companies, they are legitimate, they're more expensive because they're more difficult to do because not everybody reports. But yes, you can purchase business trade lines. And what they're going to do is they actually give you legitimate lines of credit for you to utilize at their stores or at their retailers, and most of the time they'll add seasoning to it for like 2 and 3 years. But the biggest thing about that is that your business has to be set up and it has to be structured the proper way. I would not encourage anybody to purchase business trade lines unless their business has been established for at least 12 months. All right, that's one of the last things you want to do on the business side, because most of the time, if you're gonna it doesn't make sense. If your business has formed, say your business was formed for 6 months, you're not gonna be able to purchase a trade line that's 2 years old. Does that make sense? Do you guys understand that? So if you guys understand that, I want you to say, got it. Even if you're watching me on the replay, I want you to say, got it. I want you to participate with me as if you're watching me live. So if that makes sense, I want you to say, got it. So for instance, if you're starting your business 6 months old and you're trying to get a shortcut to get funding and you want to purchase trade lines, you're going to waste money, because a hustler will say, yeah, let's go ahead. Yeah, give me this $3,000 or $4,000. I'll give you trade lines. Boom, they give you trade lines. It looks good. You got your paydex up. But when you go to underwriting, instantly red flag, fraud alert. How is it possible that you have an account with the company and your business wasn't even born? So you have to understand that your business is like a baby. It's a baby. So once you get your EIN number and you get your LLC, that's just like getting your social security number and your birth certificate. So my daughter's 10 years old. There's no way in the world my daughter can have a credit card for 15 years and she's only 10 years old. Legally, she's not able to have credit in her name right now. So that's what messes up a lot of people, because they don't understand. They have a form of it, but they deny the power thereof. They don't understand it. So they'll waste money because they're focused on the numbers. But remember, the purpose of what it is that I do is so that you can get funding, not just so you can have a pretty credit score, not just so you can brag to people and say you're a CEO but you're still working at Starbucks. It's to have you have true success to live the CEO lifestyle. So guys, I have to get ready to go for my flight. It is about to go and my phone is about to die. So thank you guys so much for watching me. Let me make sure that we're good to go. Okay, thank you guys so much for watching my live. Make sure you share this in your Facebook groups, share this in a private message. Make sure that you comment, you like, and you subscribe. And remember, the only person stopping you from being successful is you. If you don't know it, you can learn it. If you have not met them, you can meet them. Go get them. Success is waiting for you.